Hey everyone, before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe. You won't want to miss this one. I never thought it would end like this. The night I told her we should break up, I felt a mix of relief and guilt swirling inside me. A storm I couldn't name. We were sitting on the worn leather couch in his apartment. The one he always claimed smelled like home, though now it felt foreign. Outside, the rain traced lazy patterns down the windows, tiny rivers reflecting the dull glow of streetlights. I think we need some time apart, I said, my voice barely louder than the hum of the radiator. He looked at me, confusion and hurt dancing in his eyes. He didn't move, didn't speak. His fingers twitched over the cracked screen of his phone. I noticed how he absent-mindedly tapped a text he didn't send, always nervous when he lied about something, though he'd never tell me what. We had built this life, small and ordinary, but I had started to feel invisible. He left dishes in the sink for days, forgot my favorite coffee order, and spent more nights scrolling through his phone than actually talking to me. I wanted him to fight for me, to hold me when I needed it most, but instead, he had begun drifting, little things, barely noticeable. I remember the smell of his cologne that night, a mix of cedar and something sharp, like he had been hiding, and then his laugh, soft and distant, as if it belonged to someone else. I felt the weight of every unspoken word. Every text I discovered and dismissed, all crawling over me like ice. I understand, he finally said, voice low. There was no pleading, no begging, only acceptance, cold and quiet. That's when the pit in my stomach widened. I wanted to take it back, wanted to beg him to stay. But my own heart had made the choice. I left that night with an umbrella dripping over the hallway, the sound of my heels against the wet pavement matching the rhythm of my pulse. And as I walked away, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had already changed, something permanent, something I couldn't undo. What I didn't know then was that the moment I stepped away, he was already moving forward in ways I could never imagine. The next morning, I woke to an emptiness that was deafening. His apartment, once a chaotic comfort, was now a ghost of laughter and late-night whispers. I kept telling myself I had made the right choice, that we both needed space. But a tiny, persistent doubt gnawed at me. I tried to distract myself. Coffee shops, long walks, endless scrolling through my phone. But nothing worked. Then, 2 days later, I saw it. A photo, his face smiling, arm around a girl I didn't know, posted publicly on Instagram. She looked familiar somehow, like someone he would never introduce me to. I froze. My chest tightened. I stared at my reflection in the darkened screen. Was I supposed to feel relief or rage? Betrayal or grief? He hadn't told me he was seeing someone else. Not a hint, just a subtle shift in his attention. The secretive glances at his phone, the sudden late-night meetings he never mentioned. I tried calling him. No answer. I sent messages. Who is she? Why didn't you tell me? Hours passed. Then a single reply. We're done. Move on. That was it. No explanation, no apology, nothing. Memories hit like broken glass. The way he'd laugh at my jokes while texting someone else. The way he'd lean closer. But his mind wasn't there. The nights I'd held him while he drifted somewhere else. I had ignored the signs. Convinced myself it was just stress, work, or the kind of distance every relationship went through. And now, the truth was undeniable. He had moved on, faster than I ever could, faster than I imagined possible. My own decision to leave, my own attempt to protect myself from heartbreak, had left me empty-handed, alone in the rain-soaked city, watching someone else take the place I thought was mine forever. The realization hit hardest when mutual friends, casually, mentioned seeing them together, laughing, holding hands, like I had never existed. A tiny voice inside me whispered, "Did I push him toward her?" That night, I sat by the window, the city lights reflecting off the wet streets. My phone buzzed, a new message. But it wasn't from him. It was from someone I didn't know, tagging me in a picture of them, smiling. My heart sank. The life I thought I controlled had slipped through my fingers, and there was no going back. I didn't know then that what I was about to discover next would make everything even more unbearable. I couldn't sleep that night. The apartment felt suffocating. Every corner a memory of what had been, every shadow a reminder of what I had lost. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was a direct message from her. A simple line. "He's really happy with me. Hope you're okay." I stared at the screen, disbelief twisting into anger, sorrow, and shame. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone across the room, to shake the world awake for letting this happen. But all I could do was sit there, numb. The next day, I found myself outside his apartment, not to confront him, not yet, but to feel the pulse of the life that was once mine. I saw him through the window, laughing, carefree, completely untethered from everything we shared. He didn't see me, and maybe that was the cruelest part. My presence was invisible, just like I had started feeling months ago. I wanted answers, closure, something to justify the emptiness. But the truth was brutal. There were no reasons he could give that would erase the betrayal. He had chosen her over me. He had moved on the instant I left. And I had no one to blame but myself for letting fear, doubt, and hesitation dictate my actions. I turned away, rain starting to fall again, soaking through my coat. And in that moment, I realized something painful but essential. Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone else. It's about losing yourself in the process. I had left, hoping to protect myself. And in doing so, I had lost my own sense of certainty, my own sense of love. Weeks passed. I cried. I raged. I let the silence swallow me. But slowly, I began to rebuild. I started small, morning coffee alone, late-night walks, rediscovering the sound of my own laugh. The betrayal didn't disappear. The emptiness lingered. But so did the understanding that life doesn't wait, and neither should I. And somewhere in the quiet, I found a new truth. Love, real love, requires courage. Courage to stay, courage to leave, and the courage to face whatever comes after. If you've ever loved, lost, or had your heart shattered, you know this story. Share your thoughts below and subscribe, because sometimes the hardest stories teach the most.